Howdy, folks. It's Benji here. It is good to have you. This video is about how to get intensely serious about your porn habit, giving up masturbation and porn for good. This process is really important because it's part of a 7-stage process that we've outlined. And if you didn't watch the first part of this, the actual outline of all the 7 stages, you can watch that one after this video. And I'm going to give that to you as soon as you watch this video. All right. So, how do we get serious? You might be thinking, dude, I'm already serious, Benji. I've been serious about this from day one for many years, since I was a teenager, and I've been unsuccessful. Tell me the secret sauce. Tell me the secret tips. Well, this is it, my friends. Now, the reason that the vast majority of the guys that I work with and we work with here at High Noon are not as serious as they think they are. Let me ask you that for a second. Do you think you're serious? Are you serious about quitting porn? And are you willing to give it up for good? By the end of this video, I'm going to tell you, you're going to come to a place where you feel so intensely serious and excited about quitting porn that you're going to want to give it up and you're going to want to get serious. So one of the first questions that I ask guys when they come to me for mentoring is I ask them, are you serious about giving up porn? Are you serious about it? And if the answer to that question is no, then honestly, we can't work with you. I can't work with you because you're unwilling to work with yourself. You're unwilling to do the things that are required in order to give up porn at its core. However, this is a process. And if you start with the biggest domino, if you start with the first one, then the other ones become easier and it will come naturally because you will want to do them. So 2 questions that I'll ask you that are really important to figure out how serious or to gauge how serious you are or how serious you need to be beat porn. Number 1 is if I had a gun to your head, right? Right now, I'm sorry to get so dark so fast, but if I had a gun to your head, this is an important mentality thing to have. And I said, if you act out again, I will end your life. Ooh, if you act out again, if you watch porn again, I will end your life. In that instant, what would you do differently? In that moment, how would you change? You would instantly go from not so serious, from dabbling with your porn recovery to instantly, okay, my life's at stake. I got to change things up. I got to get off Instagram. I got to get off social media. I got to get off TikTok. I got to change up my morning routine, my evening routine in order to ensure my success so that this guy does not end my life, right? Your life is not at stake, but is it really? I'm here to tell you and argue with you guys that in many ways your life is at stake. Many times people bring their porn habit far too long into their life, into their marriage. We've seen this guys over all the time, into their marriage, into their career, into their working environment, into their relationship with their kids, even where they're face to face with a spouse that's saying, guys, it's either me or porn. In those moments, people are able to change. In those moments, people are able to get serious about their porn habit. Why? Because they understand the impact. Number 2, they understand the impact of porn. This is the key here, guys. You cannot get serious about quitting porn unless you first understand the impact. I'm going to talk about impact a little more in just a second. Now, after you answer that question, if I had a gun to your head, I don't have a gun to your head. It's just an important, grim imagery to have. The second question is, if I gave you the option, right, between the red pill and the blue pill. I didn't have a red marker. If I give you option between the red pill and the blue pill, and I said, if you take the blue pill, then pornography will be eliminated from your life forever. It would be completely gone. And however, the catch is that you would still have urges, you would still have temptations and triggers, but you just wouldn't be able to access it. Would you take the pill? Would you do it? In other words, are you really serious about quitting it? And do you really fundamentally want to give it up? Or do you use porn as a kind of an old friend, a coping mechanism, an escape system that you go back to, a bad crutch that you lean on when you're feeling intense negative emotions like anger, frustration, depression, boredom, and all of that? And if that's the case, then my friends, you're not really serious about getting better because you're trying to keep it with you, get this, as long as you can without actually doing the deeds that it takes to get rid of it. Or you can take the other pill that's going to be, you keep the porn with you the rest of your life and you just have to figure out how to deal with it, all right? In order to do that is to live with it, and success is you have to come to a place where you're so intensely serious about this that you will want to give it up, all right? So that's number 2. Here's the thing, guys. Here's the key. You cannot understand how to get serious about porn if you don't understand how it's impacting your life right now. Ooh, mind blown. All right. If you don't understand how porn is impacting you, then you won't change. Why? Because the underlying for you, subconsciously or consciously, the benefits of keeping this habit with you right now far outweigh the apparent negative impacts in your life, if that makes sense. The benefits of keeping it with you outweigh the apparent negative impacts. What are the benefits? Well, it's an easy escape, first of all, right? The last time that you were so stressed out of your mind or angry, or you're fighting with your wife or your parents, or something at work or school really stressed you out and triggered you, what was your first thought? I'm willing to bet it was go back to porn, go back to your old friend, because it's the easiest way that you have found to take yourself out of a state of anxiety, stress, frustration, depression, boredom into a state of just relaxation, forgetting about it temporarily so that you can just experience that addictive cycle and those dopamine hits. All right. So that is what is happening when you keep the habit with you, is you're fundamentally unable to change because the benefits outweigh the apparent negative impacts. So how do you flip the script? First, you really have to get down and dirty and deep, look into yourself, figure out how porn has impacted your life. And when you get how porn has impacted your life, it will require you to change. It will automatically make you want to go down a different path because you will so clearly see how much porn is affecting me in a negative way that you will want to get better. How do you do this? Uh, as part of this stage, or part of the recovery journey, is in the stage, your graduation requirement is you have to, at some point in the next few days, 3 days, I give you 3 days to do this. All right. Get out your journal. You have two ways to do this. You can either journal or you can talk to somebody. Ideally, it's better to talk to somebody, but sometimes journaling can be really effective. And write down all the ways that porn has impacted your life. Even go out in prayer into the middle of the night or into your car and just pray to God and ask this question: how's porn impacted my life? How's it impacted my health, my relationships, my spirituality? How's it impacted my relationship with God? How's it impacted my focus, my confidence, my drive, my energy, the time that it's consuming from you? How's it impacted your relationship with your wife, your sexual relationship? And also on top of that, what is the opportunity cost that porn is taking away from you? What is the opportunity cost of keeping this habit with you longer than you need it? Chances are the opportunity costs are far beyond anything you thought you ever imagined it would be. Where could you have been? Ask yourself that. Where could I have been if I wasn't consuming my time, energy, and focus on this habit and going through the battles and the addiction and the urges and the triggers and the fantasizing and all that and the acting out and feeling bad for myself and then going back to the cycle? If that wasn't part of your life would be so much more than it is today. All right. So that's your assignment. You have to come to the place ultimately where you feel the impact of porn. You feel it in your bones, in your soul, and you're almost brought to tears of just like your feeling is like, oh man, I can't believe that I've been doing this for so long. I can't believe, and I didn't even realize, I didn't even know that I've been doing this to myself. Guys, it's not enough, by the way, to say, I'm going to give up porn because it's impacting my future self or my future wife or my future kids or my lineage or anything like that. You have to understand how porn is impacting your life right now, today, as we speak already, and then you'll be able to change. If you always make it about a hypothetical someday, again, the benefits of keeping it with you will always outweigh the apparent negative impacts of porn. So you've got to get serious. You've got to understand the impact first and foremost. And then here's the trick, guys. This is the cool thing. Once you understand the impact of porn, and you're just about brought to your knees in tears and repentance because you see how clearly this has affected you, you will want to do your one thing. You will want to take action. You will want to do the one thing, which is the one thing you need to do to beat up to to give porn, to beat up porn. The one thing you need to do to give it up for good, that you know you need to do, but you are probably not going to do it, and you've been hesitating to do it because why? Again, because porn has become an old crutch for you. It's the easiest way to escape negative emotions, and therefore you keep going back to it. Your one thing is a thing that's going to kick you into gear. It's going to jolt you. It's going to send that strong signal to you, to your life, to your body, to your mind, to your spirit, to your soul, that you are serious about this. And that one thing could be a bunch of things. It could be you need to tell somebody about it. You need to stop battling it in just your own head and thinking, I can do this on my own. Maybe your one thing is you need to tell your spouse, your partner. Maybe the one thing you need to do is you need to tell your parents. Maybe the one thing you need to do is you need to just get some accountability software on your phone or your devices, or to block porn completely. But you've been avoiding that because you don't want to do it because you have an underlying agenda to keep it with you, right? Maybe the one thing you need to do is tell a friend, or maybe you need to join one of our groups at High Noon. Maybe that's the one thing you need to do. Maybe you need to subscribe to this YouTube channel and get more content like this. Okay. Anyways, the one thing goes on and on, right? So you've got to figure out what that one thing is. And you might think like, oh, I don't want to tell my spouse. I don't want to tell anybody about it. It's not for me. I can be this on my own. But here, the thing again, is when you get the impact and when you're really serious, you will want to tell somebody. You will want to get help. You will want to take you out of this addiction cycle and actually take real action there. So, some examples of the one thing. One guy that I was mentoring in a group, his thing was he kept having a stressful relationship with his mom, with his mother, and he couldn't really figure out how to get better with that. And every time he was in an argument with her, he would act out with porn, right? So I challenged him, and he took my advice, and he started working on that relationship. He started healing that relationship. And guys, that was the one thing he needed to do. He started meeting with her every week. He started going on walks with her. He started talking with her, healing that relationship, being open and honest with her about how he's doing. And through that relationship, he was able to be very consistent with his porn habit and with his recovery, to the point where I don't think he'll ever go back to porn, honestly, because he's healed that one stressor in his life. That was his one thing. Another guy that I was working with, he kept pushing off getting porn accountability on it, like Covenant Eyes on his devices. And I was like, okay. And he kept saying like, oh, that's not for me. I'm not the guy that does that. I'm not going to be the guy that pays for something like that. I'm not an addict. And I kept asking him like, okay, why you keep bringing this up, dude? Like, why is it that you don't want to do this? It sounds like it'll be a good idea for you. And he kept saying, the excuses. And I really dug deeper and asked him why. And he realized that it was the one thing he needed to do, that he was unwilling to do it because he wanted to keep the habit with him. And guess what happened? When he got the software, he was a lot better. It just was the thing that needed to jolt him into action, kick him into gear to actually get better. Maybe your one thing is to just tell a friend, tell one person about it. And that was the one thing that's going to set you on this path. Maybe that's it, right? So, in order to get serious about this, your whole stage, this is a process of doing it. I would say it could take you 3 days, it could take you one day, it could take you a whole week to do this, depending on how intensely focused you are on getting the impact of your porn habit. The graduation requirement is you need to feel the impact of porn, like get to that feeling that I was talking about of just like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe it, like oh I didn't even see it, like that kind of feeling, almost like in tears of repentance. Maybe you won't cry. Who knows? If you want to cry, you can cry. It's okay. And then the second requirement for this is you got to get off social media. That says no social media right there. The reason you need to get us off social media is because when I check in with guys about how their week was doing, and it's like almost all the time, it's like, oh, I slipped up because I was on social media and I was triggered. Or they say, I didn't slip up. I felt really good because I spent my time off of my screen, off of the internet. Interesting correlation, right? So if you're working with me, guys, you're going to get serious about it. You got to get off social media. I'm sorry. It's as simple as that. And you might be thinking, oh, I need it. I need to be on Instagram for work or for ministry or for Facebook or TikTok or YouTube or all that stuff. Guys, I'm not saying you got to give it up forever, but while you're doing this detox, while you're doing this rewire, reboot of your brain, you got to get it off. You can, and even if you do absolutely need to be on social media for work or for ministry work or anything like that, you don't need to follow most of the people that you're probably following. Just follow people that are essential to you. All right. The bottom line is here, you got to guard your eyes. You got to guard yourselves to avoid those triggers. And if you're going to get serious, you got to detox and do this rewire thing. All right. So this is the entire process for the first step for the 7-stage process. If you want to see the full video, hands-on video about how to give up porn in 7 stages, the 7-stage process, I'm going to put that video right down below here. And that video is really just going deep into you, an overview of how to replace the habit of porn with something that is more grand, more attractive, more beautiful, that porn just doesn't become an issue anymore. How do you replace the crutch in your life that you're leaning on to get support and a little emotional support? How do you replace that with something that is actually healthy for you and genuinely good for you? And that's what this video here is all about. So go ahead and check that out. It's good to have you. Love you all. Take care.